USPAP Definitions, page 5. Intangible property, intangible assets, non-physical assets, including but not limited to franchises, trademarks, patents, copyrights, goodwill, equities, securities, and contracts, as distinguished from physical assets such as facilities and equipment. Intended use: the use of an appraiser's reported appraisal or appraisal review assignment results as identified by the appraiser based on communication with the client at the time of the assignment. Intended user: the client and any other party as identified by name or type as users of the appraisal or appraisal review report by the appraisal based on communication with the client at the time of the assignment. Jurisdictional exception: an assignment condition established by applicable law or regulation which precludes an appraiser from complying with a part of USPAP. Market value: a type of value stated as an opinion that presumes the transfer of a property, for instance, a right of ownership or a bundle of such rights, as of a certain date, under specific conditions set forth in the definition of the term identified by the appraiser as applicable in an appraisal. Comment: forming an opinion of market value is the purpose of many real property appraisal assignments, particularly when the client's intended use includes more than one intended user. The conditions included in market value definitions establish market perspectives for development of the opinion. These conditions may vary from definition to definition, but generally fall into three categories. 1. The relationship, knowledge, and motivation of the parties, for instance, seller and buyer. 2. The terms of sale, for instance, cash, cash equivalent, or other terms. And 3. The conditions of sale, for instance, exposure in a competitive market for a reasonable time prior to sale. Appraisers are cautioned to identify the exact definition of market value and its authority applicable in each appraisal completed for the purpose of market value. Mass appraisal: the process of valuing a universe of properties as of a given date using standard methodology, employing common data, and allowing for statistical testing. Mass appraisal model: a mathematical expression of how supply and demand factors interact in a market. Personal property: identifiable, tangible objects that are considered by the general public as being personal. For example, furnishings, artwork, antiques, gems and jewelry, collectibles, machinery, and equipment, all tangible property that is not classified as real estate. Price: the amount asked, offered, or paid for a property. Comment: once stated, price is a fact whether it is publicly disclosed or retained in private, because of the financial capabilities, motivations, or special interests of a given buyer or seller. The price paid for a property may or may not have any relation to the value that might be ascribed to that property by others. Real estate. An identified parcel or tract of land, including improvements, if any. Real property. The interests, benefits, and rights inherent in the ownership of real estate. Comment. In some jurisdictions, the terms real estate and real property have the same legal meaning. These separate definitions recognize the traditional distinction between the two concepts in appraisal theory. Report. Any communication, written or oral, of an appraisal or appraisal review that is transmitted to the client or a party authorized by the client upon completion of an assignment. Scope of work. The type and extent of research and analysis in an appraisal or appraisal review assignment.